Welcome to Magically Mindful, the podcast, where emotional alchemy, self-love, and soul remembrance collide. I am your host, Tesla, emotional alchemist, here to share my raw perspectives on growth, healing, and the journey back to your authentic self. Through soulful conversations and inspiring stories, this space holds the messy, the magical, and everything in between. Let's dive in. Before we get into this episode, this is justice for my outfit because the way I was sitting did not do this outfit justice, but I have these cute micro shorts that looks like a skirt, and it's like all lacy with this beautiful lacy black bodysuit. So anyways, my Leo needed you to know what this outfit really is because she's so cute.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello, beautiful divine soul. Welcome to my birthday episode. Wow! So when this comes out, it'll be August 5th, and my 29th birthday took place August 4th. And I actually shared a vlog this past weekend called 5 Things That My 20s Have Taught Me So Far. So it was like a birthday reflection video. So that came out August 1st. And I wanted to kind of piggyback off of that video and just share the wisdom that I have acquired throughout my 20s. This is going to be my final year in my 20s, which is wild, but I am quite looking forward to my 30s, but very grateful to still be in my 20s. And I was speaking with one of my friends recently, and she was like, I don't even know how she said it. I think, but it got me thinking, like, yeah, it's hard to believe that we're even in our 20s, let alone the fact that now we are both 29. So, yeah, just crazy. But on this episode, I really want to dive into the greatest investment that I have made in my 20s. So, if you've been listening recently to the recent episodes of the podcast, I have been sharing more and more about my financial situation, my current financial situation, being in debt for just over $40,000, credit card debt, and trying to find a salary job, all of these things. And, a lot of, the majority of the balances owing that I have acquired is from investments that I have made. And I was thinking about this recently, and I'm like, oh, I've had no ROI on my investments. And where that thought was coming from was the fact that I have invested thousands of dollars into what was my coaching business, which I've recently recognized and have pivoted, which you may or may not know, just into fully showing up as a storyteller, a creator, just being my authentic self and no longer selling coaching offerings. So, yeah, I was like, okay, I haven't received an ROI on all of the courses that I've invested in and hiring my own one-to-one coach a year ago. And it's like, yeah, where is my ROI? But having such a strong and positive mindset, I was able to quickly recognize what my greatest investment has been. And my greatest ROI is that I have all of the money that I invested into my coaching business. Well, really, what it was is investing into myself because the things that I became certified in mindset coaching, EFT, subconscious rewiring, hypnosis, um, learning about human design and astrology, all of those things so heavily, immensely, like extraordinarily transformed my own life and my own internal world. And that is the greatest ROI I could ever ask for. And we live in a world that is so heavily focused on being successful, and that is has everything to do with, how much money you have. And more as I'm moving through this season right now and my Saturn return, I recognize and I'm reminding myself that no, the money in my account does not define my worth, nor does it define your worth. And yeah, no matter how much or how little amount of money you have, we are inherently abundant just for existing as this beautiful soul in a human body. And where I'm feeling so abundant is in the department of love and support. And as I'm moving through this season, what I've also come to realize is I motherfucking did it. I motherfucking did it. I motherfucking did it. What am I talking about? Well, yeah, the little version of Tesla, all she ever wanted was to be loved, supported, and seen, and just valued and cared for. And as I'm moving through uncertain times, but my soul knows, I have recognized that I have cultivated an inner circle that loves and supports the motherfucking shit out of me. And I am so immensely grateful for all of the people in my inner circle. Like, I've put in, like, throughout my 20s has been all about inner transformation, emotional transformation, finding inner peace, and in turn, like, the freedom on an emotional level that brings, and shifting from living life through a miserable lens to now, like, it's I can always find the silver lining in things no matter what I'm moving through. And you can check out the vlog that I posted where I really break all of that down throughout those 5 things that my 20s have taught me so far. But yeah, there is just so much richness in having poured all of this time and energy and love and money into myself so that I could become the very best version of myself. I have simultaneously done all the weed whacking, pulling, whatever we want to call it. I have weeded out the toxic people, places, things from my life and have cultivated an inner circle that I like had spent so like felt like I had spent forever just dreaming about. And now I'm like, wow, maybe these friends of mine, a lot of them, they're not here in Calgary with me. They're kind of spread out across the globe, but still, like, they're there for me despite our locational placements. And I'm just so incredibly grateful for that. And you know who you are. I love you. I love you. I love you. And in addition to that, I'm so grateful for the community that I have built as well through Magically Mindful. And it is interesting because, yeah, I think birthdays are a beautiful time to really reflect on how far you've come, and maybe, yeah, I'm not maybe, definitely set intentions for your year ahead because, we have the new year, right? When, like, the literal year changes. Happy New Year. But your birthday is the start of a new year. So we always have moments to, celebrate that and set new intentions or further amplify intentions we've already set. And in terms of just reflecting on how far I've come, just wow, my 20s, and I know I have a year left. I'm not getting ahead of myself here, but I just know that, before I know it, I will be in my 30s, and so just to think about all of my 20s and wow, in this moment, I wish, I had all of this footage I could share, like, this part of me, like, that grew up just loving celebrities, and now I guess I'm very much, like, love my specific YouTubers and influencers and things like that, but I'm like, when I was younger, I was obsessed with the Kardashians. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the pod, I might have, but I was, like, literally obsessed. Kylie was my number 1, and then Chloe, and so on and so forth, but, like, I was addicted. And this was I think this started in high school, and it carried on until my early 20s, but I couldn't let a day go by without making sure that I saw every single post or update that all of the sisters had made. But where my MG brain is going with this is that thinking about all of my 20s, I'm like, "Wow, it's like the Kardashians are so lucky because they have all of those beautiful home videos," which happen to be their reality TV show, but I'm like, I'd love to put a little montage here. But anyways, if you would have told my 19-year-old or 20-year-old self, like, if you were to show her even, like, this podcast episode right now, back then, I would be shocked, I'm sure. And, like, what a beautiful thing for your greatest investment to be in yourself, in your just in yourself. Like, for me, the pillars are self-love, understanding, and acceptance. Like, that is the beautiful, perfect recipe for a very beautiful and abundant life. And it's just it'll never not blow my mind that prior to embarking on this path, this journey of those components, self-love, understanding, acceptance, that, like, my reality was the complete opposite of those things. Like, I didn't wanna look at myself in the mirror, I was my own worst enemy, I constantly sought out love, validation, acceptance outside of myself, and yeah, no wonder I felt so sad all of the time, so let down by others because it's like, yeah, I put all of this stuff outside of me, but everything that I ever needed was already inside of me. And I think throughout my 20s, that is like the biggest takeaway that I've had is like everything that I ever dreamt of, wanted, needed, it was always right here internally. And when we pour into ourselves, then in time, probably not overnight, but slowly and surely, it your outer reality reflects the internal one. And so that's why I'm always going to be hammering this home of like working on your internal dialogue, becoming your own best friend. Like, that is the greatest gift you could ever give yourself. And I'm living proof of that. I'm reading this book called The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. I apologize if I butchered his name, but I'm sure you've heard of him. Like, he's definitely a highly known and respected figure in self development, spirituality. And it's so interesting, divine timing, because this book is very small. It's maybe 100 pages, and I had bought it months ago, and I was actually gonna be in a virtual book club with some other girls, and so I got the book, but we never did it. But I decided because I had been spending a lot of time being a frickin' minion on my phone in the sense of, like, I in the last few months would stay up until 5 in the morning because, okay, maybe I had a late night and let's say, like, when I was going to Badlands, I'd get home by 2 or 3, but then I'd sit on my phone for 2 hours and then go to bed at 5 or 6 in the fucking morning. Oh, so finally, I've been completely powering off my phone when I go to sleep because I would just put it on airplane mode, but, like, that's not enough because you just click a button and then you're back online. So, I have been powering my phone all the way off, and that helps me because in the mornings, I'm not going on my phone in the first thing. I actually will It'll be hours before I turn my phone on, so I love having that kind of freedom. Like, I know one of my closest friends, she's like, "I couldn't do that because of my kids," and I'm like, "Oh, shit." But the hermit in me, I'm a 6'2", so the 2, the hermit is, she loves to go offline, but I also love to be online. Anyways, so through doing this, every morning over this last week, I've been reading a law, and it's very short and simple, but one of the laws well, actually, the last law, I read it today. It is the law of dharma, your life purpose, and I was reflecting as I was reading, like, okay, I decided to grab the book because I was like, "I can't remember off the top of my head." So I'm just gonna share. It says that there are 3 components to the law of dharma. So the first one says that each of us is here to discover our true self, to find out on our own that our true self is spiritual, that essentially we are spiritual beings that have taken manifestation in physical form. So we're here to discover our higher self. The second component is to express our unique talents. And this has to do with the thing that you lose track of time because you're so in bliss, you're in flow state. And then the third component is service to humanity, to serve your fellow human beings and ask yourself the questions, how can I help? How can I help all those that I come into contact with? So it had me see, to be honest with you, I just kind of lost my train of thought. I'm like, how did we get here? But I think I was just talking about, I mean, the journey of, you know, living in misery and being my own worst enemy to then becoming my own best friend. So, I as I was reading that chapter, I just recognized that I am in my purpose, and it's cool to very cool to me to see that, you know, this time last year, I was getting ready to go off to California to spend the fall and winter, which is what I did, with my family out there, but I left everything behind in the sense of my job that I had at the time here in Calgary working as a receptionist, and I was ready to show to the universe, like, I'm going full in on my coaching business, and then I spent September through to the new year on launching offers, like like fucking like going to the drawing board and trying different things and nothing like worked. And that was really frustrating at that time. But now I can see and I have channels, my gifts within my human design chart that literally speak exactly to this. I can't remember which channel it is. It could be Channel of Inspiration, which I know I've mentioned before. It's the channel 128. I think it connects the throat to the G center. And what that channel well, I don't know if it's that channel or if it's a different channel, but what it speaks to is that I'm here to live authentically, live as my most authentic self. And just by doing that, I will make a difference in the lives of others. I will naturally impact others. So as I'm reading this, it's the seventh law, so it's the last law. So I'm basically done the book. I just have to read the conclusion. But as you can see, it's just tiny. But tiny but powerful. So, coaching is inherently just a part of me. Like, my friends, when I'm giving them advice, they're like, "Oh, you're basically my coach," you know? And that's just what comes naturally to me because thanks to all of these past years throughout my 20s of choosing to invest in myself, now I can just like live authentically, which is so freeing. And I do impact the lives of others. But now, just focusing on the podcast and now doing YouTube, which I am totally in flow state when I do both of those things. Like, this is the most effortless, fun thing that I get to do. And especially now that I've converted the podcast to video podcasting after over 2 years where I wasn't doing video, getting to edit and add extra elements into the podcast videos to give you more visual references on things, and then literally doing vlogs where it's all visual. I have had so much fun editing that, and I do not at all look at the time when I'm doing those things, especially when you're recording. I have no clock around, like, I'm not looking at the clock, like, this is all flow state, but, what I'm sharing, I know that there's value, I know that it's adding value to your life, and that is such a beautiful reciprocal energy exchange. So, I'm just like, "Wow, this is so great," and I mentioned this in the vlog, but I in 2007 made my first ever recording, audio recording. And that's because I had this cute little pink MP3 player that also had a mic on it so you could record. I don't know if I still have the MP3. I really hope I do, but I do have the recordings from it. So the very first one was in 2007. And I was in the back seat while my Gmaw was driving, and we drove from Edmonton to Seattle for a trip, and so I'm just literally, like, essentially podcasting about it. I'm just like, "Hey, like, here we are, blah, blah, blah." I sound so cute and little.
Hello everybody, welcome to Texas World. This morning I was on an airplane to Vancouver, which I just passed Vancouver, past the borderline because I'm going to Oak Harbor to visit my uncle, me and my grandma, or in this wonderful car we rented. It's leather inside, leather.
Then the next couple of recordings was me at recess. I don't know what grade, but probably, 2007, I was 11, so I can't say for sure when these other recordings were made because I didn't reference the date, but I I had I have these recordings where I'm at recess with my friends, so I was probably 11 or 12 years old, so before junior high, so probably grade 6. Let's say it was, like, grade 5 and grade 6, and I can picture myself being at recess doing this, like, I don't I have a good memory. Well, I think I have a selective memory when it comes to, like, my earlier years, but it was me with my 3 best friends, Francesca, Isabel, and Adriana, and I had Tesla's Little World. So, my friend Adriana would do this little jingle for me, and then I'd be like, "Hello, everyone, it's Tesla's Little World," and then I would just interview them. Like, how crazy is that? And I know prior to having the MP3 and doing recordings there, I loved to make dancing videos. I grew up with this girl, Jamie, and I grew up as an only child, but I do have a half brother who is 10 years younger than me. But growing up, it was me and Jamie, and our moms were best friends, so they lived together for quite a long time. But yeah, me and Jamie grew up together, and we would always like, we would Oh my gosh, Britney Spears' Circus album, like, we recorded so many music videos from that album, and probably Pussycat Dolls as well, but we would also just play store, have an imaginary store and do cashier and this and that. But it's like, I just always loved to do this. Like, I love being in front of a camera, and I'm a Leo sun, like, "Hello, it's my birthday." So yeah, it's just so cool because I've spoken about this more and more lately on the podcast, but I loved reality TV growing up. The Hills, that was my first love. The Hills on MTV, and then the after show with Jesse Cruikshank and Dan Levy. So that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a VJ on MTV Much Music. And so me, in hindsight, then having gone off to Toronto for radio school, that was a huge manifestation. It wasn't exactly TV, but still, I was in Toronto. Like, that's where fucking Much Music was born and made, and then MTV Canada. So I just that's just a part of me. Like, how I grew up was I loved celebrities, and I would love to go to 7-Eleven and my Spanish grandma when I would be there on the weekends that I'd be with my not dad. He would drop me off to my Spanish grandma's, and she'd always give me money so I could go to the store and the convenience store and get snacks, but magazines, oh my gosh, I'm seeing it in my mind's eye right now, specifically well, maybe it was a Max, actually. I don't know, 7-Eleven or Max by her place. It was in a strip mall in the north side of Edmonton, Alberta, and the magazine section in that convenience store was lit. Oh, I'm just seeing it right now. There was a huge wall, and I love to get J14 and was there something I wanna say Bop, I don't Bop, Pop? I don't know. I don't remember all the names aside from J14, but I love to get my magazines and read about the celebrities. Oh my god, I loved it so much. But Leos are the superstar of the zodiac. So, I don't know, I think I wanna ask AI about that. Like, I need a little refresher as to I don't know, Leos just do love well, why do they love the spotlight? I don't know, but I guess because 'cause we're ruled by the sun. We're here to shine our light and inspire you to do the same, okay? We brighten up all the rooms that we walk in, and I know Leos get a bad rep for being self-centered, but we're not. Oh my gosh. I mean, every zodiac sign has has its shadow side, but I think like I the ways in which I'm like things that I'm obsessed about now, like, I'm reflecting on the younger version of me. But I will say just to kind of finish up that thought around like loving celebrities and things like that. Like, now, there are people that I love, but I think it's not as much celebrity, it's more influencer-esque, if you will. Like, I love Tana Mongeau, I am a newer fan, I think I started watching her in 2020, and Brooke Schofield, I met them when I was in California, I did a meet and greet, for one of their live shows. That was so amazing, and now the podcast is ending, but, I love them and their friends, and a lot of their main friends were there at the meet and greet, so I got to meet them as well, and I don't know, I have a knack for running into famous people. That it was paid for, but, oh, I have a lot of lore around famous people that I've met, even just being in Edmonton. Me and a couple of my friends, we must have been in grade 11 or 12. My GMA lived very close to West Edmonton Mall, and that's where I had a lot of my jobs. I'm planning on doing a vlog in the near future where I just reminisce on all the jobs that I've had because I'm like, "Oh my god, so many lifetimes in this one short lifetime." Well, not short, but, I still have lots of life to live. However, Yeah, me and my friends were at my GMA's and Tyler, the Creator, was in town for a concert and we went. I think it was 2 nights and I swear we went both nights. It was at the Starlight Room in Edmonton and I saw on social media that Tyler was at I think I saw on Twitter. I swear he tweeted about being at West Edmonton Mall, and he might have tweeted something specifically about being at Galaxyland, which is the amusement, like, roller coaster, like, the theme park, whatever, inside of the mall. I worked at the water park, but my mom, she worked at Galaxyland when she was younger, and I guess there was this one ride, and she was the monster that would pop out. That's just so crazy to think about. Anyways, so I was like, "Grandma, you have to drive us to the mall right now. We have to go see Tyler." And I was obviously being such a fucking bitch. Ugh, bad, bad, bad. But bless Gma. I love you so much. Bless her heart because she was just a real one. But so she drove us to the mall quickly and we fucking saw Tyler the Creator with Taco and Jasper, like his two main guys. And they were just getting on to the Mindbender, which I don't think the Mindbender roller coaster is there anymore. My mom, when she worked there, she was like, "Yeah, there was a time that I was working and the fucking ride stopped and there were people just hanging upside down." Oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine, like, that's actually terrifying. But anyways, we saw them and they saw us because we were, like, so excited and they were just about to take off. So then we were at the bottom, like when you get off, we were there waiting for them and we met them and they were super silly and nice and fun. Like he had a bodyguard there with him. So it wasn't like this super long interaction, but it was still so cool. And actually, so because we went down the stairs to like wait for them, we all kind of had to go up the stairs together in a sense. So they were walking ahead of us and then I said, I'm like, "Tyler, is there gonna be merch at at the show?" And then he, like, turned around and walked up towards me and went, "Nope," and bopped my nose. And I was like, "Oh my god, iconic, iconic." But anyways, so, yeah, my knack for running into famous people again, this is my manifesting generator brain. I just beep, boop, boop all around. But going back to what I was saying, there are just now, like, influencers and artists, I suppose, that I really love, like, the content that I consume, like, I love Tana and Brooke and Emma Chamberlain, but it's yeah, it is interesting because I think I kinda started watching all of them in 2020, like, COVID time. So, yeah, whereas other before that, it was, like, more I was more involved with celebrities. So, yeah, I do love reality TV, but I think I watch more YouTube and vlogs and podcasts than I do reality TV. I do love MTV The Challenge, but gosh, some of the recent seasons have been well, but hopefully this season that's starting right away is gonna be better. And I also have been watching Jersey Shore Family Vacation. I always get a good laugh out of that, but, like, it's just they're so entertaining, and I just, like, love the friend dynamic and how long they've been friends and because I just love nostalgia as well. So, yeah, that's kind of, like, how things have progressed for me, but I think it is interesting because, yeah, I didn't watch YouTube as a kid. I did, like, in 2011, 10, 11, I was posting on YouTube. Like, I had random videos, but they're all privated now and they're on my personal channel.
Yeah, it's almost the end of the summer. We've got 1 month left. But anyways, the point is, it's just gonna be this huge storm, and it's slowly starting to rain, as you can see on the ground. Look at that raindrop. And it's my first news report. So expect this good. So the lightning seems to be pink, which is kind of weird if you ask me. But this one is for the boys with the boom system. Top down AC with a cooling system. So when we come up in the blood,
It's interesting that yeah, because I just never actually really thought to do YouTube, but, what we consume and the things that, like, we focus on, they expand, so it's like, "Oh, yeah, well, I watch so much YouTube," so then one day it was kind of like, wait, why don't I do YouTube as well as podcast? But to give you the full truth, why I even decided to start doing video podcasts was because on my business email, I often get messages from people. I think some are legit, a lot of them maybe not so much, but they'll talk to me in the emails saying or talk to me about, "Oh, like your SEO, like are people actually finding Magically Mindful the podcast?" Yada yada yada. And one of these emails though was talk gave me good information without even booking anything with them. It was talking about how YouTube is where people are finding podcasts now. And I mean, even look at Call Her Daddy. She had her big Spotify deal, but now she's doing YouTube and like having the podcast on YouTube. That's like her spot now. So I found that, yeah, it's just interesting. And so it planted a seed, this email that I had received being like, yeah, basically put your podcast on YouTube. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do video. And so, the rest is history in the making. But I just think I am, I really just am fully in my dharma right now. And although on the financial front, things are uncertain and I'm only working DoorDash at the moment and it's not sustainable, but cancel clear delete. I'm like, how can I rephrase that into something positive? But yeah, I still know that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. And this time right now, like I have the flexibility to be able to give my full energy and attention when it's time to podcast and vlog. And I'm just so incredibly grateful for that. And I absolutely do want to make a career out of this. Like, that's why I'm doing this and how I'm serving others. Like it says in the seventh law, like that being the third component, I do feel that through sharing my wisdom and tools that I've acquired along the way to help me evolve and be the best version of me. And obviously, I'm constantly evolving. Like, I'm not at the finish line. I never will be. This is all about enjoying the journey and just me sharing all of this with you. I know that it's serving. And I've had people reach out to me to say, like, your podcast has helped me so much, and that's all I could ever ask for, and I do feel so incredibly proud of myself because like I said, like, the version of me prior to her 20s and even early 20s, like, if she were to come on the mic, I don't even know what she would say, but, you know, I did spend more time than not, like, struggling internally with myself and not being happy. But now, like, every day is a beautiful, great day. And even if I find myself in moments where I'm feeling overwhelmed by the uncertainty, the time spent in that is so little compared to what it used to be. And when when I was experiencing a negative toxic relationship with anger, those outbursts would last so long because I had so much shame and guilt when I would like after an outburst, after losing my shit, then I'd beat myself up for it. And God, like, yeah, the greatest gift I could have ever given myself is the love, understanding, and acceptance. And I'm very, very grateful that I get to share my own unique journey with you to help you on your own unique journey, whether you're learning something new from me or you can just resonate and feel and know that you're not alone. That is just my greatest wish and intention, which actually I'm going to share with you so you can ask these questions to yourself as well. So it says, sit down and make a list of the answers to these two questions. Ask yourself, If money was no concern and you had all the time and money in the world, what would you do? If you would still do what you currently do, then you are in dharma. Because you have passion for what you do, you are expressing your unique talents. Then ask yourself, how am I best suited to serve humanity? Answer that question and put it into practice. And yeah, reading that earlier today, I was like, oh, I am in my dharma because I love podcasting and YouTubing. And I think in addition to that, I would love to be traveling around, and I do still wanna host events. I really do. It was actually so beautiful because my friend Liz, who was on the last episode of the pod, she is so amazing and incredible. I love her so much, and we actually share a birthday, August 4th. Like, how fuck it doesn't get any better than that. Like, hello, synchronicity. It's just so crazy, but anyways, she said to me, she's like, you like, this because we are, like, business accountability buddies, like, that was how our friendship started through connecting in an online portal, so we always have a call together every week because we don't live in the same city, let alone country, but she said to me recently, "Yeah, like, with all like, how you're evolving and pivoting in your business," because when we first would have started our accountability dates, I was fully doing the pursuing the coaching, but yeah, so she's saying the direction that you're going in now, she's like, her one of her expanders and greatest mentors is Tony Robbins, who she loves so so much. And so she's like, you're kind of like Tony, like, he brings people together and like is a leader. And I was like, that is such a sweet thing for you to say. And I'm like, yeah, like I would love to do that, to bring people together. I just think that when I was living life through misery, I felt very alone. And I mean, of course, I didn't understand myself. So, how could people around me even really understand me? But I just, yeah, I would love to create containers in person where people can just come to be seen and feel love, because especially when you do embark on the journey to heal and do the work, it can feel incredibly lonely. But it doesn't have to be that way, and it shouldn't. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, everything is within us, but we are human. We are creatures of connection. So, like, what is helping me move through uncertainty is what I talked about earlier of being so graciously abundant in my friendships. It's overflowing with love and support. And I would love to help bring people together so that they can find their people like that. And of course, I want to share my wisdom, but also give others the opportunity to share their wisdom as well. Like that's what I do with the podcast when I have guests. Like it's funny because people will say like, okay, like they might ask for prep. Like what should we prep? And I'm like, "Babe, I'm just going to ask you about your journey." Like I don't come with interview questions. I let it all flow in the moment because I just want it to be organic and authentic and for you to have this time to shine the light on your authenticity, really. So, to wrap up this beautiful birthday episode, I have two birthday candles here. The two can be representative of the 20s, but I have two candles here because I want to make a wish for myself, but I also want you to make a wish as well because it is Lionsgate season. I believe the portal is open until the 11th and it is strongest on 8/8, August 8th. So, yeah, whatever you're manifesting right now, whatever you want to call in, let's make a wish together. So this is especially a good opportunity that if you're not already watching this episode, you might want to turn the video on just for that extra oomph. But if not, audio listeners, I still love you. It's all good. Okay, so I'm gonna have to set down the mic while I do this, but I think I'm just gonna light them both and then no, I'll light one at a time. So let's do I'm gonna do the first one because it's my birthday. Yay. Yay. Okay, now this candle is for you, so set your intention, and when I blow it out, we're not blowing out the intention, cancel, clear, delete that, we are just letting the universe take care of the rest. Okay, set your intention, visualize it. I'm gonna set an intention for the collective. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Yay! Beautiful, beautiful. So, thank you so much for celebrating my birthday with me. You're like, "I didn't sign up for this," but, ah, so exciting. I just love that I was able to do I love that it was well, I guess next year my birthday will fall on a Tuesday, which is when I release podcast episodes, but today this episode is a day after my birthday anyways. Love how it all lines up, and like I said, if you haven't already watched my vlog, my newest vlog, 5 things that my 20s have taught me so far, more birthday reflections there. I think, that vlog is this we went on a lot of tangents. So anyways, I don't want to go on more. So thank you for being here. I love you so much. Happy Leo season and Lionsgate. May all of your manifestations come true. They will. It's already done. It's already done. If this episode brought you clarity, insight, or a moment of reflection, I'd love for you to share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you share it on Instagram, tag me at magically.mindful so we can keep the conversation going. To stay updated on what's coming next, head to magicallymindful.ca. Thank you for listening and for choosing to honor your journey today.